What I do want to focus on, though, is this Fair versus Infiltrator as a raise. I don't really know how the Neon's going to function with the rest of this composition when you're going to have to be somewhat self-sufficient, and you're already seeing it. A slide across, trying to get a pick early, but that's already a slide done. Now you're going to need the rest of the group to move in with you to get main value into your execution. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for that.
That helps. A little lurking first blood onto moves, middle of the map. As Governor a little bit interested, and he's able to at least find the quick trade, allows Winthrop to keep their focus purely on this execute at A. Not a part of it fully is Zeke, but may not make much of a difference because Blue have already gotten control over at ropes. Good utility to get Zoe a little bit further up the ropes himself. And well, Governor, well, after the weakness that he was able to face in that first battle, not able to do much there. So just down to Ali, 1v4, good luck, have fun.
He's done it before, though. I would always trust Nali, especially now that he dodged this haunt and also has a sheriff to work with. Has to do pristine headshots all across the board, though, but it's a headshot from there instead. Now, you're already seeing it shift. The way that Blue Water are moving as a group here, as Fair has the first basin that he makes on the outside, but when it comes down to the site execution, there's extra util to come through, and you're trying to make sure that your cutting rotates. And not only on the players that are pushing towards the spawn, but also keep an eye out on fireball ups. He's finding great value, at least in the pistol round, to cut that rotate in the front of the B site already. So now you want to keep that continuation on that line for Blue Otter for that win condition on your side on the attack. This round, though, all of them looking to focus one more time into a very similar pistol round. 4 of them for rubble control. Late lurk coming out from fireballs on B.
It's Vice versus Vice battle. We're just going to see that all day, it looks like.
Here.
Guardian shot from Zeke alerts Winthrop that, hey, don't peek that anymore. Door will pop, and honestly, Winthrop are stacked up correctly. Even better, Moobs, I said it yesterday, Vance, Moobs is always good for one with the Sheriff. At least he was in 9 out of 10 times he had it yesterday. So, good start here for Winthrop with the stack still lurking over towards A.
Ever since Moo's been hitting the gym, the weapons have been so light in his hands. So that's why he's just able to be pristine on the shots, you know? Probably has a super light as well. And he's just able to carry up a nice little duel in the very beginning. And looks like Blue Water want to refocus towards that. So jump spots are going to continue on. And then potentially this triple push might at least be able to take down Zeke.
Well, Zeke, whoa, dancing, waltzing with most of this Winthrop defense. Noise being created over towards B that will pull Winthrop back just a touch. Moves. Wow, difficult fight with Fair. Anything but, you would say. And Zeke will find one more before exiting. Ali able to supply at least the trade, but here's the problem. Look at minimap. Blue Water have gotten onto C and into the defensive spawn.
Yeah, once again, they flipped the map, so they're in a prime position to really play this pulse plan. So Bob, she's the one at low HP, going to try to jump spot for information. Instantly owned by Glyph, who played the off angle, but this should be still a great position for Blue Water to play this pulse plan, especially if they have double vandals for the last few players.
But the Prowler clears out a lot of these tight angles, so you still hold on to this paranoia for a little bit longer. Extra clearance of the site on the way. Blue is going to have to come back, try to contest against this because, let's be honest, it is starting to get a little hairy. But clock is starting to fade. Governor finds one. Oh, but the lineup for Fair is perfect, and it's going to be essentially a 1v3 for Fair for Blue Water to take the second round.
The slide coming in again to line up the last two, but it looks so doable for Winthrop University, who they on their side have had a pretty, maybe not the best results against Envy yesterday, but what they were really good at was on the protocols of actually being able to play these egos to actually eco their opponents and try to keep the game close. It almost worked out in their favor then, but unfortunately here, the slide from that Neon. So we talk about not much utility helping out Fair, but he's definitely being self-sufficient himself with mechanical skills and prowess on how he's opening these duels.
Yeah, that was tight here for that. Spam from the Odin, we've seen this before. Saw yesterday. Envy was doing a lot of it. Not a lot of action initially, but a chance to possibly still put the pressure on with the Neon playing forward for Fair. And that's unfortunate. Infiltrator just kind of staying right outside the fast lane, eventually capitalized for first blood.
He's about to get pressured, though, and thankfully he walls up on time. And with that smoke, actually, that gives him good control for the map for the defensive side.
Well, Governor finds another. Full weapons looking good here for Winthrop's defense. Moves the sole defender inside of C, but it's going to get some quick help from Ali. Teleport on for Zoe, not quite able to find moves, so that'll be the spike and likely also the round to Winthrop.
The last two are also looking to save their weapons. Bonus round coming in on their side, but it's two Vandals that would actually be very important to use into the next round, as Fair, Zostel, and Zeke could all buy within the next round. Maybe some econ damage would be good, because if you're looking across the board from the side of Winthrop, it's actually quite low. But you are also going to have to notice here, Shift, how even Moobs is playing towards the C side. I was going to say previously, when he got his ankle broken by Fair entering the way that he did, he didn't really place a wall towards that side because they're on an eco, so he's just jump spotting for information. But while they have a gun round going on their side, he still doesn't really proc up that wall. He's really focusing on supporting that B side and really trying to cancel out the lurk for Zostel. So that might be an opportunity for Blue Water later on to maybe try to take advantage of this lack of utility and stall that you kind of have on the C side, especially as you saw here, how they executed towards the C side on the first wave. He already popped out his Razor Vines and didn't have really nothing left for the rest of the site. Yeah. So yeah, they're going to have to learn coming through here on the attack side, and Blue Water might be able to manipulate the map a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it's from what we've been able to tell, again, it's early, but they do really kind of show us a level of versatility that could lead towards success on really any site for that matter. So there's a lot to be excited about, I think, if you're a Blue Water fan. I think the thing is, as Winthrop starts to really cook up and get, again, very, very strong, and the weapon department with ultimates to support, it could get very difficult for Blue Water to find that same kind of success. Little feel out over towards A. Meanwhile, late Prowler to C doesn't really get even into the choke point, so not a lot of info here for Blue Water.
They're fine. They're just playing a 1-2-2. You're just spamming with the Odin. You're trying to see if there's going to be some noise being made towards this A side, but the position you have from Blue Water, the only thing they really have is, yeah, making some noise with the door, but maybe playing a walk contact for the rest. So there's still an opportunity for the off-angles here, and that push, though, is going to stall some things for Blue Water.
Yerp. Well, Infiltrator, no, can't get the second. Fair, any more magic for you? Prowler coming through, kind of backs off the play just a touch. Snake bite in just to make sure that there can be a forced commit onto A. And this will lead to a plant. Definitely doable. The difficulty is, how do you survive against the numbers once they're all here?
The thing is, on the defense, they don't have too much for the retake either. They already used most of their flashes. The Haunt's the best thing they have.
Left. Spike planted.
Well, you're going to get an opportunity for the Neon to play up top on ropes. Triple stack over towards stairs. Long flank on the way. The Vice Wall will proc. And that'll be enough to turn the attention a little bit. But the problem is, I mean, not that it's a problem, but the good news from this long flank is that you already have Governor clearing out that space. And beyond that, Fireball will also drop. So now it's just down to the last two members for Blue inside of the site. Zeke backing off just a moment. Has two on the corner. A little bit of damage, but no kills. Fair still waiting for their opportunity, but may have missed their window. Not a lot of support. And then dropping off of the top of ropes. Ollie still connects on the headshot. That'll be enough for Winthrop to tie us up at 2.
Fair didn't have a chance to even put his toes onto the ground before he got popped in the face. That was a very nice shot coming down the other end. I think that was Ali, at least to help out. Good clearance coming out from Winthrop University too, though. As you know, you talked about the wall being propped up on the flank side, but looks like Governor was really making sure that they haunted towards rubble, that they made sure there was no lurk on that side, and he kind of kept everybody pinned towards that A site. You still had great positioning, as I said before here, from Blue Water. You had to land your shots. Unfortunately, you don't. You have a buddy system coming out from Blue Water, and then you're just getting dropped down one by one. So it worked out at least fair game for Blue Water until that happened, because they had a player disadvantage. At least still good money to work with for Winthrop University, and not for Blue Water, though, on that end after losing that round. But they are looking to move quickly towards it.
Well, Nightfall will come through. Fair, finger guns out, finds the first. Trade from Governor is good. Decay also really becoming an issue here for Blue Water, as Fair is able to shred apart a couple. It is doing it all himself at the moment. Gonna get a 3v2. Infiltrator off out, sees one, misses the shot just a bit wide, and Blue Water will collect the spike and get the plant.
He's gonna hate himself for that one for sure. Now it's still once again a player disadvantage. This time, okay, 2v2, doable now.
Bob's not gonna like that. Poor timing, unfortunately. To the 2v2 we go. Zoe pop. Fair still down low with an Odin, of all things. Winthrop trying to stack on their way back in.
One enemy remaining.
My feed is completely frozen. Can't see what's going on. Knife is out for Infiltrator. Is able to find the kill. I'm sorry. My feed froze. I couldn't see anything. And I'm pissed that I missed it.
I think everybody was frozen pretty much at that point. I'll telegraph it for you. Here you go. Dot dot long dot Morse. It was just some satchels going through and some sliding across from Fair, and then it was like a shorty to shorty battle that came in favor of Winthrop University towards the end. But so much value was taken by Fair with the overdrive. 3 kills on that side, a broken buy that they had. They have a plant on top of that. They keep the econ low. But there, you'll see on the replay. Look at that. Look at that. Both of them missed their shorties, and it came down to bringing a knife to a gunfight. And it was a knife kill that sealed the deal. I think that's the most important thing that I didn't talk about, but at least you got to see it.
I did get to see it. Infiltrator, oh, who's going to kick things off with an opening paint shells for first blood. That'll work. That'll help. The question from here is, how do you get this back into plausible opportunities for Blue Otter, and that will work? Able to find some openings over at B. Follow-up. Governor is there. Shearwall proc, and that may have actually saved a life. Hard to say whose, but very well may have. Arkrose does at least blind out part of the B site, but everyone is fine for now. 3v4.
Really, the only thing you could do is play soft side on A. They're kind of crossfire set up on this B side. Aware of potentially a second push coming through from Fireballs in front of the B site. At least, thankfully, though, Blue Water are all separated across the map, so they have to go for some sort of a pincer maneuver, and there you go. And then, fortunately, that's the second time that a shot misses like that from Infiltrator.
Toxin screen down.
So now to the 2v3. Showstopper available for Infiltrator, who can get active on the retake, which will likely need to happen with Zeke stepping really far up. Ooh, mercy me. Glyph is somewhat primed to possibly expect this.
30 seconds
Is
left.
obviously avidly worried about it, and what a shot from Glyph. Governor through Waterfall.
Find you.
Now into the backside at C-Main. No problems there. And Winthrop, 4 in a row. Cruising.
I couldn't focus. Sorry, you had Oh Mercy Mercy Me, and I just had a song going in my head. I think it was Marvin Gaye, right? You know that song?
I do know that song. I'm an old head like you, brother.
But yeah, thankfully, even though a couple of offshots are missing here and there from Infiltrator, the rest of the team are still there to support. If anything, it is getting rather difficult now for Blue Water to take control of Rubble from TPs or Neon Slide, because this Seasoning combo is going to continue over and over and over towards Rubble. So Blue Water now focusing on a heavy lean side where Moobs is holding us alone.
Now, here we go. Gonna get a little bit of a mute up over towards the C site. Moob's still hanging around. Goodness. Prowler out. No way he finds the second. Fireball is able to finally put together some sort of a response. The Sheriffs are connecting. A little bit of punish here, but largely speaking, Winthrop pretty calm and comfortable throughout. That just a little bit of financial damage from Blue Water, who find themselves now down 5-2.
And Infiltrator never really lost his op in the last few rounds, so the econ's still going to be quite good for Winthrop University to continue on in a strong suit. And mind you, I know people have been talking about it from stage or week to week, but the addition to Governor to this team for Winthrop University is a huge addition to the team as well, to allow for them to have such a good turnaround throughout the season when, you know, as we mentioned, ups and downs on the side of the collegiate team. And they're still looking for a way here to get to the playoffs, to try to get to Ascension. Another team that also went 0-5 and last year in the stage when, you know, you kind of had Screwface and lead at the helm, as an IGL.
Not ready yet.
But now they are looking like one of the best collegiate teams that we have so far here in Challengers, as Blue Water are just holding back towards that spawn. And I guess they're expecting here Winthrop University into the mid-round. You remember that double push they had towards that B side when things kind of get quiet. They want to run into the buddy system and try to find that information, especially now that they're deprived on what they could see towards that C site, because Moobs is actually set up towards A.
Well, first time in a while we've had some quiet echoing over the first 30 seconds of these rounds. Slow approach here for Blue Water up to the front doors at A. Prowler, I don't know if it actually sees Infiltrator on that angle, but ooh, Zeke is able to find it. Beautiful. That's the op out of the picture. And a chance to flood here, pending you don't get stuck by Razor Vines.
Get stuck. But at least that's a good delay. And that's a 0 stall now for the A site. I think this should be a re-hit towards the A site as soon as you sell a fake towards C now. From Fireball Ups. Oh, sorry, from Zeke. Sorry, from Bob. I'll go through the roster. I'll go through the roster. We got A site. It's all good.
no way we both have the same old man sigh right there. That's hilarious. Who let us cast together? Governor on the cross. Not going to be able to stop this. And honestly, Blue Otter going to get in, plus also establish some control with the Vipers. And, ooh, I was going to say, maybe a From the Shadows deep behind ropes. Not the case. Winthrop able to clear. Bob a little bit mixed up. And, wow, that is about as clean as it gets in terms of a retake for Winthrop.
Yeah, what a nice little denial from the poison or the pit going in towards that A site. But I have to commend. I mean, they were mentioning on the desk, keep an eye out for Glyph. Like always playing the Omen so far, and usually it's Ali when I was thinking about him back in the Challengers days and even in Collegiate. But the way that you drop these smokes, you're starting to see that more and more from like Tier 1 and in the last few days of Challengers too, where you're creating these small one-way smokes for you to be able to see feet and try to get the sprays across. And it gets a beautiful pick towards tree. It allows for Winthrop University to really reflood back towards that site and really just overtake here this attempt of a post plant on the side of Blue Otter. Very, very nicely done. And now, as it looks like he was potentially on the side of how Blue Water's been opening up these sites and how Fair has gotten so much value from the pistol round into the anti-ecos, Winthrop University are definitely finding their footing.
Looking solid, looking good. Moves has been a lockdown really throughout this stage. I mean, I gotta say, Moves is really impressed. But he's been key in a lot of these initial isolations of these executes from Blue Otter, which is going to be cause for concern and also cause for conversation here in the timeout. It's just tough, man, because like you look at the timeline, it's like technically speaking, Blue Otter are getting plants down. It's just their ability to set up their post plant is 0, which is, you know, I think the biggest thing. It's not the fact that they're not holding it; they're not even getting a chance to set up their post plant.
And it's going to be difficult even more, even after this timeout for the side of Blue Water, to try to muster something because they've used so many of the big ults to try to get the last few rounds to failure. And now it's Winthrop University that has 3 big ults to work with. Already the Viper is sitting up on the C site, so you potentially could start seeing a pit if you jump spot for information, and you're pretty much set up on that C side over there. For the rest, though, Showstopper available for the B side for a stall, for a retake as well. So Winthrop University in a stronghold in this current gun round.
Grenade!
Well, Operator is going to get, well, pushed out initially by the Paranoia. There's help nearby, so not much concern for Infiltrator. Plus, the Showstopper is there if things get really dangerous. And speaking of, Missile does not quite get over the ledge. And honestly, if you're Fair, you're like, damn, I'm in a great spot right here. And that's why shuts down one of the defenders. Now the offense can make their way at least into B, if not rotate around it over to A.
Definitely looking like a slow start here for Infiltrator, and unfortunately with that miss from the rocket, it opens up the site now for the B site to take. So now you've already inserted players towards the staircase as well. A big opportunity for Zolstal for the backstab.
Well, Bob for one, trades out. Zoe able to finally get the judge into play. Can't quite save the teammate, but may not make much of a difference. Infiltrator still alive, but with the Operator, you would think that in a 2v4, you may not even give this a bit of a go. Unless Ali can find a pick, then maybe there's an opportunity to take away one of the angles. Winthrop are still feeling it out. They've cleared some decent space, but this has taken a lot of time. And this is just down to sheer luck of do you catch the timing? Here comes Fair off the cross. Infiltrator catches one, but nothing more. Finally, the wound cauterizes Blue Water get their third.
That's understandable. They still have great money to work with for Winthrop University in the next round. So if they're able to see if Blue Water are a little bit more antsy in their post-plant positioning and want to go for a peek, well, that's a person that's going to run through crosshairs and easy pickings, and then you have the pit for the post-plant. I just love that, as we saw in the replay, because Bob had to be first contact on what she was able to see with the players rotating out from the A site, and Zolstal's just crouched, not even paying attention to what's behind him, where Bob's just fighting World War III, and he's just watching the staircase. And he's got the trade towards the end, and it gives a chance now for Blue Water to capitalize at least on the round.
Here we go. Finger guns up. Fair only finds one. Glyph going to step a little bit further forward, but punished this time by Zeke. So that success that we've seen from Winthrop on their push-up from a couple of rounds ago, not going to happen here. Steel Garden out, moves feeling the pressure. Also trying to create an opportunity for Ali to come up from behind. Hey, how are ya? And now all of a sudden, Blue Water are completely stuck. Bob gets the weapon back, vulnerable, down to low HP. Prowler will catch the info. So it's a raw 1v1, but Moobs has the health and the height advantage. And it's going to be 7-3 to Winthrop.
And that's just unfortunate. The Prowler went under the box and didn't even hit the player playing on top, which was moves on the boxes by the breakable door. If it was for that, it probably would have given a chance for Bob to really set up a better crosshair placement for that 1v1 duel. But you definitely saw how brawly it got in that previous round just for that rubble control. And you've scaled up to a point where you don't want to take that that part of rubble. You want to slide towards that front because you've been caught by C's nades in the past. So it's nice on fair with a combination of the snake bite, the spit here to vulnerable their opponents and open things up. But it looks like Winthrop University were just ready for instant trades right after.
There.
Well, pistols largely in play here for Blue Water. And that means Winthrop are smelling blood in the water. Oh, goodness. Heck of a snap there from Ali. After the initial chaos of dropping into the smoke, and Blue Water have, well, put it plainly, not a lot of ground to work with here.
And even trying to walk contact this time around as they lost some players in the first place. I don't think it should be a good idea for them to flash yet. I think it has to be on the contact of the walkthrough. Beautifully done right now. Comes down to communication for Blue Water to see if they can open things up.
Don't get in my way.
On the Viper's pit, just to try to secure things in case it gets a little bit mixy.
Spike planted.
Spike will be allowed to plant. Nightfall gives them a chance here. Moobs just backing up, waiting for help. And help is taking a while to get here. Hold on a second. If Blue Water can just shut down one frame of this retake, this is still winnable. Just comes down to can they actually find the timing for these eliminations. Winthrop trying to spam things out, not able to find much of anything. Infiltrator, a little bait and switch as he tries to make his way in, but fireball in the corner for a couple. It is to a 1v1. Weapon collected, up and over. How about that for Blue Water? A little 3v5, but just so much smoke all over the C site. It's a huge thrifty round.
I just feel right now that Winthrop University, since that timeout for Blue Water, are kind of playing themselves now. We just talked about how good their ults were to really run away with this half. We saw a showstopper that missed. This time a pit that doesn't really give them a good opportunity to scale out of. Because outside of that, you're running outside of the pit. There's a crossfire setup from Blue Water just on the outside. There's no flashes to support you for the retake either. It just becomes easy picking for Blue Water towards the end when you had a player disadvantage. I feel at that moment when you're so close in, pull that pit down, just start moving in as a team. Don't force yourself in these scenarios.
Unreal. Now we've just got a TDM.
Dude, we are one brain cell today.
We are so locked right now, Vance. We are so locked. Trades do favor Blue Water, if only barely. Fair has 5 HP, Governor is full health, and has a Nightfall. And there may be an opportunity here for shot clean. Now it's just down to Zeke. Notes in the corner, but Zeke hits a little crouch. And how about the last couple of rounds for Blue Water? A 7-5 half.
What a great way to end the half for Blue Water. Again, I really thought this was at least like a 10-2 with how things have been going so well for Winthrop University on the retakes. But you go down to the hero plays, just the micro adjustments coming in through how they scale towards that map as well. Remember when Zeke got a nice opener from rubble into the breakable door and infiltrate with the op? That's thanks to Bob's Prowler. This time around, taps that spike, overplays Governor on a 1v1, and then clutches that round there for Blue Water as well. So you're definitely seeing that despite maybe sometimes the macro is not in the best of looks here for Blue Water, they definitely do have the individual skill to be able to keep the game close here against their opponents. Now it's an opportunity for Winthrop University to turn things around. 4 ghosts on their side, actually 8 ghosts in the server, and most of the util around Infiltrator. He wants to use satchels and nades, open up the area, open up a site, create some space.
Well, pistols for Glyph is pretty much perfect. Well, firing range through the mid choke point. Oh, and Fireball. Had a look at one a little bit deeper. Did not expect Infiltrator to be as close as they were. So it'll just be on to Zeke to try to make more efficiency happen in this 1v4, collecting the orb.
And with the patience too, exactly. Collecting the orb on the A side, but also collecting the orb on the C side. Governor picked up the orb on C, got that plan, so you're min-maxing, being very patient and making sure here that you stay true to your game plan. Despite, you know, your opponents coming up and catching up to the play, you're still able to stay calm and making sure that you're able to at least have some sort of a fight in the long run by collecting these orbs and making sure that your protocols are right. So I like it at least. And again, great hero shots out from Glyph. Now Zeke this time, I feel at this point, I died to Spike. But Glyph is still in a hunt.
Best they can. Glyph finds 4. So good opening pistol for Winthrop, kind of picking up from a little bit of that little stagger at the end of the first half. The Thrifty, I think, in particular, really hurts, but overall, not terrible. And now, and again, pretty comfortable worlds in terms of how they try to approach this second half, because talking about their Lotus and talking about it, I mean, they pretty much play to an even amount of strength, both on offense and defense. So you look at the success from the first half and say, we got this, we're chilling.
Seems like Blue Water still had good read in the very beginning, though, by pushing those 3 players in front of that B site, but Glyph is just pristine on the shots. One ways now, like, I mean, that's why you don't try to do those peaks on one ways. And that's why, like I said, it looks very good here for Fair on the attack side as this Neon being self-sufficient. You can't get these type of plays here if you're going to try to do solo plays like that. Understandably, it's an eco round on the side of Blue Water, but this has to be a corrected mistake once they get their money right.
Well, very patient here. Infiltrator doesn't want to give away anything. Moobs has a shoulder on the zone. That paranoia doesn't land. Feels bad, man. And that'll be enough to say, all right, off to the races we go on A.
Yep. Got map space, got forward positioning too. Another 1v1 against a Classic. Loses it, but at least the rest has scaled up, and that's the rifles to pull up behind. So very nicely done. Good shots by Fireball Ups, though. That's a Bulldog salvage into the next round. Actually, he should go for this. He needs to do some damage. You want to bring a rifle into the next round too. He's making noise now for Bob so that she could get this flank back towards the Rebel side, and they could just meet up together and start playing that buddy system to keep Winthrop inside the A site, inside the radius of the spike going off too.
Well, good start for Winthrop. It's going to be a pretty potent bonus as well, pending that you don't get more damage by Blue, and, well, Bob may have had the best opportunity. Fireball. As soon as the star cover fades, well, you know what that would look like. And instead, it's just going to hear everyone run away. Find one more. Okay, so it makes that bonus maybe not as potent as we would have figured. Actually, almost as an Ingle and Infiltrator there for a moment, too, but not the case. And we'll go 9-5 with the Phantom and the Outlaw sticking around.
Definitely some good damage being done, too. And you want to look at the investment in what Blue Water had on that previous round. I think there were a couple of shares, so a little bit of util being purchased on their side on that eco. So that means that not a lot of the players are going to be able to invest into full shield. So this Outlaw that Infiltrator purchased could actually bring some tremendous value going into this round as well. 3 of them could actually be one-shottable here by Infiltrator. A decent bonus round. I think this, you would want to have Winthrop University play a little bit more slowly. So they are trying to make this noise towards this B side first, so that hopefully Infiltrator could get a pick towards the C side. Ooh, unlucky.
Yeah, very unlucky.
Poison orb emitting. Toxin screen
So
down.
first blood good for Blue Water. Offense going to try to force something over to C, at least by the look of it here. Dark cover will slow that to a little bit of a crawl. Prowler to feel things out at mid, doesn't see anything. But the defense has a pretty good intention of where this initial approach idea was. Minute 10 on the clock, and Winthrop will reset.
It's a reset towards the A side too. So Moob's continuing to add a little bit more pressure on the C side. Okay for him to lose his weapon. He only has a Sheriff. Meanwhile, you're still trying to leverage Infiltrator going for a pick here towards the long staircase with the Outlaw.
Toxins going up.
Well, Zeke's able to find another. And this is kind of, I won't say last chance saloon here for Winthrop, but doesn't feel good trying to get into the site. Good paint shells, though. Wow, Zoe takes a heap of damage, but Fair is just not missing until he puts the scope down. So now it's just up to Infiltrator, 1v4, and obviously the world, the battle up against, not going to happen. Bob for 3, Blue Water back to within 3 as we go into the full gun round.
Just notice that Infiltrator gave that Outlaw for Glyph because you kind of need your raise to go for the entries as well. So it was a nice attempt. Governor went to bait himself by jumping up there, and you're hoping Glyph to swing out and get that pick against the other Outlaw on the other side. Unfortunately, no hits. Fair manages to stay alive and get a kill on top of that. Bob, she gets 3 kills, but the first one through a smoke too with the Guardian. It's rare to see these type of shots land through smokes at such a long distance at the beginning of the round. But that definitely hurts Winthrop University within that previous round. Blue Water slowly coming back into the game. But a rifle round coming out for Winthrop University where they're going back into their protocols. Controlling the seaside mound, maybe get an orb up here so that Infiltrator's close as soon as you take map control. Governor is the one that's picking it up instead. But they can definitely go for some sort of... Oh, no. I was going to say some sort of exit with the Omen ult, but I have to go back to the drawing board here.
Sure will, especially with Zoe still hanging on to that front door. Yeah, not the buy that Winthrop was hoping for. Can't even get the play out of the page of the book that it's put together on. So, tough
Might be an
seats.
instant save.
Very well, maybe.
You look at it, they have 0 map control moving forward now, unless they get lucky with the scale that they have. And again, we've seen the discipline of what Blue Water had on the pulse plant scenario previously when they're playing the pulse plant towards that B site on that 4 versus 2. And you're definitely seeing none of them really trying to go for any aggressive peaks. Just making sure you're covering your angles, covering your corners, and not showing yourselves. So you're in a good spot here to just win this round.
Well, there's at least one elimination. Opens up an opportunity to get into B. Glyph. Whoa. No, no!
No.
Avert your
There's
eyes!
10 seconds.
Look at the shiny thing on your desk. Don't watch that. And now you've got a chance to plant and set up the C site with numbers. If you're Winthrop, no way they pull this 3v5 off.
I just did the biggest caster curse, didn't I?
I think we both did.
It all came down to that first fight in front of the B main, and it opens up everything. Great positioning on Mound 2. Governor should be able to get this pick.
Brother, what is happening? Okay.
I was right. I was right.
Bob, what do you got for us? Gotta go quick. And honestly, there may not even be a window where this even happens. From a 3v5 to a round win and no one falls. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Blue Water had an amazing beginning of that round. Again, catching Infiltrator off guard. Like I said, a slow start that we're currently seeing from the duelists on the side of Winthrop University, but outside of that fight towards that front of that B main, Util can stall well enough. As they're split up across the map, we talked about the buddy system on the A side. By being so passive towards that staircase or towards that tree, and the forward positioning you have towards B, well, the gap was there. Nobody was watching Breakable. So it gives a chance there for Winthrop University to converge back into a pincer maneuver into B and flip the map over towards C to win that round.
Spike down.
Well, Fireball makes up for the whiffs in the last round with the first blood here in the Governor. And that's the spike down. Yeah, you're going to have to. So grab it. Not able to body block it. Now a chance to plant. There are some, well, mitigating utility pieces in the way. But yeah, so you can teleport through that too. Infiltrator's going to go up and over just to clear the space. And this will be a deep plant on the A side.
They took so much time, though. Moves has to come up huge with this rubble control.
Nightfall for the retake. First for Moves is good. Not going to get the second. Threat now established. Did Moves count that there were 2, or did he only see 1? May not make much of a difference because this high ground play through ropes is going to be difficult to break down for Blue Water with no utility remaining on this retake. And honestly, I mean, if they don't get through tree, you might have to back off and save yourself. Not a lot of time here. Fireball's going to try to make their way in. That's shut down. Same for Bob. And Zeke is already half committed, so now it's just get out with your life. And what a turnaround for Winthrop.
Just talked about how slow it was for Winthrop University to plant towards that A site and giving a chance here for Blue Water to slowly converge towards this A site. And even themselves were quite slow of retaking towards rubble. 3 players moving forward. Moves delays well enough. And then you don't even move in together to try to trade into door. And then Zeke just didn't move through to be able to help out fair and to be able to move in towards that site, and you lose all that timing. Allows, just give it away. You gave it a round away for Winthrop University to just guarantee the round off time. You saw at the very beginning here, instant showstopper in the back of the A site. They were still unaware of where Blue Water was going to converge towards to, and he wasted so much util. And that was such a big window of opportunity for Blue Water to seize. And speaking of seize, there's going to be a lot of control here once again towards rubble.
Oh, mercy. It just feels like the train has fallen off the rails here for Blue Water after that 3v5. It's just, oof.
Yep.
Tough prospects here for Blue as they're going to be facing what will likely be a 12-6 count. Purchase will be poor.
Right?
And there will
It's not going to
still
happen this
be-
time.
Yeah,
No
there still
caster
will
curse this
be.
time.
Yeah, it's true. Well, based on our luck, who knows? Fireball's about to pop a 3-piece. Watch.
I wouldn't even think differently. That man's insane.
Poison orb emitting.
Guardian 2 in hand. There's one.
Yeah, there's one.
Enemy remaining.
Good paranoia,
Aw, boo. Zeke? Okay, able to find another.
And they're okay. I mean, Winthrop are just throwing their lives here, which is fine.
Player standing.
Get rid of those weapons if you can. You could still buy within the next round here for Winthrop at map point, while you'll have nothing left here for the side of Blue Water. So Zeke, low HP. That's the weapon gone.
Yep. Whoa-wee, mercy me.
Match point.
All right. Here we go. Is there any magic for Blue Otter to come back into map number 1, or will we see Ascent in our very near future? Time will tell. And I get the issue here is just the purchase is not going to be great, and that's never great news. But beyond that, you still have to fight up against the bank accounts of Winthrop, even if you do win this round. Plus, ultimates are coming online. So what we're framing up here is that this is a difficult road. You're hoping that I think in this one you can get one elimination from Fair. You can steal Garden and throw the Neon ult into play. That would be nice. But it's a lot of what ifs coming into the round.
If not have the Guardians own again, 3 of them purchasing that at first. Zeke already closing that gap. It's trying to hold that with a Vandal within the pit.
Ouch.
Ollie finds the opener. Fair looking for the long range battle, really desperately wanting to get the overdrive into play. The Viper's Pit blocking off at C should allow Blue Otter to start to stack over towards mid and A, but still showing forces Winthrop across the map, and I like that.
It's a judge in the smoke too. Best thing they want is to play contact. They have a boom bot too if they want to start clearing it. I think that'll be the smart play.
Bring me the arsenal.
There's the Steel Garden. That's from the offensive side, and honestly, they may just try to commit into B here, which would be surprising. Wall gets triggered. I'm okay. We're gonna reflip back over to C. Zeke's got a weapon, but doesn't have the angle. And yeah, Zoe, do what you can with that classic. It's a marshmallow shooter at that
30
range.
seconds left.
Weapon seen by Fair, but there's the cross from Governor. And the spike will be planted.
Spike planted.
3v5. Weapons back, but no one checks Glyph in the corner. And that will be all you need, most likely. Can Glyph finish it off with all 3? Sure can. And Winthrop strike first quickly on their map pick of Lotus.
It all came down to unfortunate decision-making on that last round. They had that pit up from Zeke, decides to drop it down to rotate with his teammates, and that gave the opener when you still had a player instant on that side. So, again, we talk about the protocols being very good for Winthrop University. It really shows that they don't want to go home. They want to try to make it into playoffs, and they put a lot of work into making sure that numbers up, numbers down, rounds up or rounds down, back up, back up. Dude, I was going to wrap some Limp Bizkit out there. No matter what, the protocols will be there to make sure that they seal the series if they can.